Hello YouTube, how is everybody today on this fine Friday afternoon? Hope everyone's doing well. So for today I've just got one very quick little finished object I made at the beginning of the week. Had you guys watched all of my video yesterday for things we're making Thursday, you would have got a glimpse of it. And originally it wasn't made for anyone in particular, but for some reason my younger son here is a big fan of my homemade hats. He's got, I think, 4 of them now. Well, now he's going to have number 5. And he said he's going to wear it. He doesn't care what time of the year. It doesn't have to be around Halloween. I thought, oh boy. But I made him he's claimed my Frankenstein hat. It is so cute. It's just done with worsted weight yarn. Actually, I know this is Burnett. The green is Burnett. The white is... Honestly, I think the white is the house brand from Michael's, which is this, I believe, Soft Classic. Is that what it is? I don't have any bands I can read from where I'm sitting, so but I know the white's from Michael's, their house brand, and the black, I believe, is also Michael's because it feels a little thicker. So yeah, my son claimed the Frankenstein hat. Now I got the pattern from a Facebook group I participate in. I've been a member of that group, I want to say 3-4 years pre-pandemic at least. I've been a very active member in that group. I enjoy it. It's always small projects. You know, a lot of them I can whip up myself in a day. It's all just crocheted. But I have noticed the group has dwindled down a lot. I know I participate every group of patterns. Like I'll at least do one. Like last segment was amigurumis, and I did just the one, but I did one. This one is I think for Halloween. All the patterns are Halloween related, and I've done one so far, but I'm pretty sure there'll be at least another one I may make. But they're all smaller projects. I do know sometimes we'll do a segment of 2 or 3 months where it's dishcloths. We'll do a segment sometimes for 2-3 months for winter wear, like scarves, hats, fingerless gloves or mitts and stuff like that. We've done segments in the past where it's household items. So you may have pillows or things like that. So it's a fun little group. But like I said, it's dwindled down a lot of participants, which is kind of sad because, like I said, I've been a member of the group for, probably at least 8 years now. I've always enjoyed it. But I found they've changed it because there's a little giveaway involved in it each time, which since they've changed it, I can honestly say I've never won. And the sad part is now, to enter, you don't have to make any of the items. You can just click on all the other links, like follow this page, follow that page, join this newsletter, so on and so forth each month. And you get entered whatever number it is, and you can win without even participating, which I think that's why the numbers have gone down so much. Before, it used to be for every photo you entered was one entry, and then your name kind of went on a wheel or something like that. I think it was a wheel they did. And then they would literally, like, if you entered 8 items, you got your name on the wheel 8 times. But the winner was a participant who actually made the items. And I wish they'd change it somehow because I don't like the way it's ran nowadays. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Or they're just going in and, like I said, joining all these things they got to do each month and follow this page and share a post from this page or whatever. And then the only one they're not entering out of all the options is share a photo of an item you actually made. And I really, really, really wish they would change it because, like I said, since they changed it, I haven't won, which, okay, whatever, it's no big deal. But the winners are not participating in the actual make-along. And it bothers me. It really does. Like, I feel if you're going to participate in a giveaway of some kind and you've got to do something to participate, making the item should be mandatory. And if your name gets drawn, and you haven't made anything, then you should be DQ'd, I feel. But it's not my site to run, so obviously it wouldn't be my rules. But I'm going to try and share the link down below. If you are a crocheter and you want to come check it out, I would love to see more people participate in the group. And if you do like to crochet, especially smaller items, it's a good way to stash bust a lot of yarn, because like I said, a lot of the items are smaller. So like it doesn't take a whole lot of yarn. And if you're looking at a good way to get rid of small little, balls of yarn about yay big, good group to join. And would love to see you over there if you're, if you do participate in Facebook groups, make-alongs and stuff, then we can have some fun. So anyways, I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to go give my son his hat because he noticed it the other day and thought, oh, for me. And I thought, yes, but after I filmed this video, which now I have, so I'll give him his new toque. I can guarantee you, probably within the next couple of weeks, he's going to wear it to work. And everyone at work's going to be, making comments of it because that's what he usually does. But I have a feeling now that he's got, I think it's 5 hats. So there's this one, the one I made him for Christmas, his striped green and blue one, his brown one. Yeah, he's got 5 hats now. Now, out of the 5, 2 of them I've not yet seen him wear. And I'm not even sure what he's done with them. But I'm thinking about pulling down my bottom bin here, which is my 5-weight yarn. And you know those sacks people can make where it's kind of like an open mouth area and you can stuff things in it? Seta, I know, has made a couple. I've seen hers. And you normally use like a 5-weight yarn or a 6-weight yarn. And I do have some in this bottom bin here that I had no idea what I was going to make with it. It kind of reminds me, I know there's been ones I've seen on Pinterest, and they've got like the big googly eyes on the top part of the mouth. And it reminds me of a character from, they were either in the Muppets or they were in Sesame Street. I wish I could remember what the characters were. If I could try and find a picture, I may share a link of it down below as well. But I think I'm going to make one of those little hanger type holders. Some people even make them to hold like a plant in them, and they're kind of funky looking. But I think I'm going to make him a small one that he can stuff all his, handmade hats in, so that he knows where all his toques are. That could be maybe a good Christmas idea for my son this year. Oh boy, that's got the wheels a turning. Anyways, guys, I'm done rambling on. Actually, nope, not yet. Hubby starts holidays technically Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. He tried to get it off as of today, like start today. Originally was approved. And then I guess another guy at work who was lower down on the totem pole, but it seemed like every time he booked whatever week he wanted off for holidays, he was always told no because someone else higher seniority, had it booked and he couldn't take it off because he's a relief driver. And I think he's possibly one of the relief drivers for my husband for when he's off. So if a driver is off and he's a relief driver, he cannot be off at the same time, unfortunately. So they approached my husband, like he got confirmed, oh boy, at least 2 months ago now that, yeah, his holidays were good. The dates were fine. Like our son, as of today, is off. He didn't work this morning at all. And he goes back to work on Monday the 8th. And my husband actually goes back on Tuesday the 9th. Because like I said, they approached him at work to see if he would switch the Friday for Monday the 8th. And it's like, because this one guy's been trying to get time off. And higher seniorities have said, nope, I'm taking that time. I was booked it. You confirmed it. I'm taking it, So hubby finally said, you know what? I got to be home Sunday anyhow. He's got stuff he's doing Sunday later afternoon into the early evening. So he could be home for the Sunday and take our son to school or not school. Oh boy, don't put him back to school. You'd be like, no. But for him to go back to work on Monday, my husband can drive him then to work on the 8th. And then my hubby can just chill all day Monday and not have to work himself. And then he can go back on Tuesday, the 9th. So, but him and I are going out to the camper this weekend. Actually, when he gets home from work, so I'm not even making dinner tonight. He said, don't bother making dinner. Him and I would grab something on the way. Our son, he'll fend for himself later on when he gets hungry, which is no big deal. And then I think him and I are coming home. Oh, excuse me. I think we're coming home. Well, I know it probably won't be Labor Day, the Monday, so we'll probably come home on Tuesday at midday. That way we're not dealing with school buses because our kids go back on school on Tuesday here in Southern Ontario. And then we'll probably come home for about 3-4 days. And then Thursday or Friday, go back up to the camper. And then Saturday, not this Saturday, like not tomorrow, but in a week. So Saturday the 6th, it's our 22nd anniversary. So we haven't decided yet what we're going to do. We always go out for dinner for our anniversary, and then we do something kind of small. Like our very first anniversary, we actually went and played mini golf, which was fun. We've gone bowling, we've gone played pool, we've gone to different movies on our anniversary. The one year, it happened to be a year we were at the trailer and a lot of the family members were there, which was awesome. So conned my mother-in-law and father-in-law, who are no longer together and haven't been for many, many years, like 40-something years at least. And conned them, both of them, to watch both the kids, which was like, oh boy, how fun that was. You know, considering my father-in-law's never watched my kids before, and my mother-in-law, I think, had only watched the boys once or twice. And hubby and I, like, we had dinner with the family because other aunts and uncles were at the trailer with their kids and stuff, or at the cottage and stuff, which was the property next door to our property. And so we ate there, but then we took snacks and that, and we went out in the boat on the part of the river we've never been on before and did some fishing. Now had no luck, mind you. And at that time, my husband wasn't much of a fisher, like to go fishing. Now he will. He fishes with me all the time. But back then, not so much. But I got some really beautiful sunset photos. So that's what we did one year. Like, we never do anything big. I'd hoped for our 25th anniversary to go and there's 2 or 3 locations kind of higher up, like up north area, where the one you can drive to and stay either at the lodge and do fishing there, or you can go to via seaplane, which I have never been on a plane before in my life that's left the ground with me in it. I'll explain that in a second. But we could fly then. We could stay at the resort that we drive to, or we could park and then fly to a remote cabins. And there's all kinds of rivers and lakes. Like, it's all one piece of water, but it's like it goes everywhere. And I thought about maybe doing that and doing like a 3-4 day trip kind of thing. And, you know, getting on the little seaplane and flying out to the cabin. But the problem is, if we do that and then I really, really, really did not like doing it, how am I getting back? Because you're up in the air a good 15, 20 minutes to a half an hour. That's obviously way too long of a swim. And like each of the cabins have like their own little kayak or little canoes and such. Plus there's a dock you can fish off of and stuff like that. And the problem is, I could take the canoe and, paddle back to mainland if I could find the right, little offshoot to take kind of thing. The problem is how they get in the canoe back out to the cabin unless someone else paddles it back out, and then the seaplane comes in and gets them. And then another resort or place I was looking at is only by seaplane. They have a parking area, a registration office, but no actual like little resort type idea. So I thought about doing that for our 25th anniversary, but we haven't really saved up anything for it. And originally when we were looking into this, oh boy, around our 15th anniversary. So it's gone up a fair little bit since then, and we still got a few more years. Like, now would be the time to start putting money away if we decide we want to still do that. We don't even know the resorts are still up and running. I do think I have the brochures here somewhere in the apartment, but not 100% sure. But yeah, speaking of getting my butt on a plane and not leaving the ground with me in it, um, the year my son was born, my youngest son was born late 2020 or 2000, and in Father's Day 2001, my husband worked at UPS at the time, and they decided to do a big family picnic thing on Father's Day weekend, like actually on Father's Day, where all the staff and their families, like their spouses, their children, and all that, and my husband actually brought his aunt with us. We got to be on tarmac side of the building, so we were actually on airport property, and we had a big barbecue, and we got to sit and watch the air show because at the time we did a pretty decent air show, and that was the last one we had, and it canceled starting 2002, and it canceled for I think 3-4 years, maybe even more, and then they brought it back. But we got to actually be there, and they had one of the actual UPS cargo planes parked nearby where we could go and walk up the stairs and see the belly of the plane, and they had a couple of the cages and stuff like that in the belly so we could see how it is, and they actually had the door open so we could look in the cockpit and everything. But obviously I was not in that place. I'm not cargo, and I wasn't flying anywhere, so I don't know if I could handle the flying or not. I think I'd be okay with it, but the one and only fear that I've ever known me to have is fear of falling backwards. I can never do that thing where you cross your arms and you fall backwards, people catch you. I cannot do it. I've never been able to do it. I don't know if maybe when I was little, if someone, I would do that once and someone didn't catch me and I'd fallen or something. I don't know. When my husband and I first started dating, and if we were sitting on the side of the bed, he came up and he shoved me. Like, I'm sitting on a bed, so I'll have my upper body that's going to fall backwards, and I know I'm landing on my bed. I tense up. Like, I can't do it. It freaks me out. I usually scream bloody murder, even though I'm only falling to, like, lay on my bed. I've sat on the back of my bed and pushed myself backwards, and I've been fine with it. But if someone else is making me do it, forget it. I do roller coasters, or I have done roller coasters in the past at Canada's Wonderland. I went 2 different years, and that initial climb up on the roller coaster is going really slow, and that clunk 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 noise as you're going up. I'm really holding white knuckling the restraint, and my eyes are closed, and I am very tense. I'm not talking. I'm not moving. And once I feel it go up and over the hump and starts to go down, my eyes are open and I'm hooting and hollering and the arms are waving. It's the initial climb. I'm always afraid it's going to break and all of a sudden start rolling backwards, or it's going to break and I'm going to somehow pull myself forward to climb out of the car to come down the stairs to be rescued. And I can't do it. I cannot do it. There's no way in heck I'd be able to do that. You better find another way to get my body off this darn roller coaster if it breaks down, kind of thing. So, like I said, I've got a fear of falling backwards, and that's why I think the takeoff on a plane, because I know it's pretty steep, just makes me nervous. Because, like, another incident, when I first moved here to the city, I lived up on the mountain, like I've explained in the past. Our city's like 2 layers. We've got a big escarpment, and it used to be, when Hamilton was developed originally down here below, up on the mountain part, trolleys only. Like, there was no way to get from one to the other. There was no actual driving access. And all up on the mountain, like the escarpment or whatever, which goes from like beyond Hamilton all the way up to Niagara Falls, I believe is the escarpment. Like, it's huge. But to get up there, like I said, you had to use trolleys. And it was all pretty much farmland up there. Well, over the years, it's obviously developed, and they've had roads actually put in. There's like 5 or 6 different accesses to get up on the mountain and come down the mountain. Well, the one time I was coming down the mountain, when I first moved to the city, I lived up on the mountain. I think it was the first time I ever came down to the lower part of the city. And our city buses, our seats were sideways, and then the aisle in the middle. And then not all of them faced the front of the bus. Some faced to the back of the bus. And for some reason, I sat in one of the seats that faced to the back of the bus. So my back is to the front of the bus. And the access that bus came down, it comes not a bad hill. Like, I didn't feel nervous or anything like that. And then there's a bit of a turn and a bit of a dip kind of thing. It felt like, and then all of a sudden, if you hit the light red, you're kind of in a weird, awkward position, especially if there's one or two cars in front of the bus. And yeah, first time I rode the bus down the mountain, sure enough, I'm on it backwards. Sure enough, we hit that red light, and it was like, oh my god! Like I tensed right up until we were on flat ground again. It did not feel, and like I knew nothing was going to happen to me. It's just like I said, the fear of falling backwards and out of my control. And it's just like, yeah, not fun. So anyway, so like I was saying, like I know for our 25th anniversary, we're hoping to do something big for our anniversary. We just haven't really determined, yes, we're going to do that or not. Like I said, our anniversary is next weekend. Don't know yet what we're going to do. We're going to be out in the country. I know there's a couple different restaurants out that way that we've been wanting to try and never have. So we may go. Oh, one year, actually, when we first started dating, gas obviously was a lot cheaper then. And we used to a lot of times on the weekend go driving at night and just bum around and get lost, see where we could end up and, find our way home, hopefully, kind of thing, which obviously we have. The one year I said, you know what, we haven't done this in a while, so we did that. We went and drove for like 3-4 hours out in parts of Southern Ontario we've never been in. And then finally thought, okay, we're hungry. Let's see what kind of a little restaurant or something we can come across, and not a fast food like Wendy's or Harvey's, McDonald's. I didn't want anything like that. I actually wanted something nice to sit down in. And we found this little mom and pop Chinese place, so we stopped there and had dinner, and then finally figured out whereabouts we were and how to get back to the city. So who knows? We might do that again next weekend. I don't know. Have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry for keeping you so long. I'm going to call it quits. And hopefully you guys all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.